What's up everyone, it's Mark from Silence Tech. I hope you've all had a very good weekend and you're all keeping well. Today I've got a brand new Corsair product, another one to review. This is the K100 RGB mechanical gaming keyboard. Let's roll the intro. Okay, before everyone gets too excited, we need to talk about the price tag. In the US, the K100 retails for $229.99 and it costs the same in UK pounds. This is a serious amount of money. Corsair's K100 will have to seriously impress me since I'm looking at one of the most expensive wired gaming keyboards ever. Straight off the bat, I feel this looks way better than the K95 Platinum XT, but looks are subjective. At the very top, Corsair have opted for just their sales logo this time around, which looks way cleaner. Over to the left is a brand new iCUE control wheel that can be used to not only control your keyboard, but any other iCUE enabled product as well, including your PC. We'll check that out a little later on in conjunction with Corsair's iCUE software. Included with the K100, much like the K95, is a set of extra textured keycaps and probably the best wrist rest ever made. Seriously, it's epic, very grippy but soft at the same time. I don't particularly like their pale yellow branding, but I'll let that slide since they've only put it on the wrist rest and I never really notice it once I have all the RGB lighting on. Going forward, I want to focus on any changes Corsair have made compared to the previous $200 K95 Platinum XT. Also any changes they haven't made to the K100 that I wish they had. For example, the massive cable still remains. I've mentioned this in several of my other Corsair keyboard reviews. My problem, since I'm big on cable management, is even with a hole drilled in my desk to route the cable out of sight, it's still visible, poking out of the top. Plus, being a YouTuber, I need my desk space to film, and unplugging the K100 is a real pain. I know this isn't an issue that most people have to deal with, but right now there's a pretty big craze going on with custom coiled Type-C USB cables that would have looked great installed on the K100. Other than that, honestly, I don't really have any issues left to talk about. Corsair have finally switched to a standard bottom row spacing, which means I can now install any Cherry MX compatible keycaps I find online, although I am a little sad that my white Corsair keycaps now won't fit. No doubt Corsair will release an updated set very soon. One change compared to the K95 XT is the introduction of Corsair's new OPX optical switches. Each switch uses a beam of infrared light to detect a keystroke, simply meaning you shouldn't ever have any unregistered key presses, plus they exhibit zero debounce and offer a smoother travel. The only other switch available for the K100 right now is Cherry's MX Speed, which is a shame since both switch types only offer a linear travel. Regardless, I clearly went ahead and asked Corsair for the K100 with their new OPX optical switches. For general feel, I would actually compare them directly to Cherry's MX Speed switches. They're nearly identical to me, with a 1mm actuation distance and 45 grams of actuation force. Total travel is 3.2mm and each switch will last for 150 million key presses. I'm extremely happy with these switches. Hopefully they aren't just going to be for the K100 and they make their way into every Corsair keyboard going forward, as long as they're also released in conjunction of course with Cherry MX Blues and Browns. Taking a closer look at the keycaps, the font is a lot better compared to the K95 XT. Every keycap is PPT double shot and the LED lighting illuminates each letter very well, although for example the E on the enter key isn't as bright as the other letters, but that's the only dead spot I can notice. Another huge upgrade is Axon hyperprocessing technology, an embedded onboard system that will increase throughput up to 4 times faster compared to the standard 1000 Hz that we're all used to today. In the iCUE software you can select a polling rate that will give you a response time of 0.25 milliseconds. After testing for hours and hours on Rainbow Six Siege, as expected, I couldn't notice any difference at all, and anyone saying that they can feel the difference between 1 millisecond and 0.25 milliseconds is straight up lying to you. Regardless, any esport players out there or gaming professionals will be happy to know they're getting next level response times. Okay, finishing off, let's take a look at how Corsair have integrated their iCUE software into the K100's control wheel. In the software, all you need to do is select the dial control tab, and there are 7 default options to choose from. Each one can be toggled on the keyboard by pressing the center iCUE button directly inside of the wheel. The first tab is brightness control, pretty self-explanatory, the wheel now alters the keyboard brightness. Second is track jogging, this allows you to rewind or fast forward songs on iTunes and Spotify. It doesn't work while watching YouTube videos. The third action is playback, you're able to attach macros and a whole host of other custom tasks directly to the wheel. Fourth is switch application, it will allow you to quickly jump between open apps. Fifth allows for vertical scrolling, 6 is for horizontal scrolling, and 7 is for zoom. And lastly, you can make loads of additional custom profiles by importing them from the hardware actions tab. Rounding off this review, I'm pretty much in love with Corsair's K100 RGB right now, but it's very similar to the K95 Platinum XT, only the iCUE control wheel visually sets them apart. Personally, I believe the K100 should have been wireless or at the very least have had a detachable USB Type-C cable. With that said, there's been a lot of improvements such as the much better keycap font, their new optical switches, the awesome iCUE control wheel and some seriously impressive response times. Altogether, Corsair is definitely listening to customer feedback and improving every product. In person, the LED lighting looks stunning once the control wheel and the edge LED lighting is all lit up. I have no doubt anyone picking one of these up will agree with me. Anyway everyone, I really hope you've enjoyed this review of the K100 RGB mechanical keyboard. My name's Mark from Silence Tech. I shall see you all very soon guys. Goodbye.